1961. Audie Murphy was one of Hollywood's biggest stars, made millions, lived in mansion, had beautiful wife and 2 children, the American dream. But every night he took handful of sleeping pills, Seconal, Placidil, whatever doctors would prescribe. Without pills, he could not sleep. With pills, he barely slept. The nightmares never stopped. War ended 16 years ago, but Audie Murphy was still fighting, still dying, still trapped. This is episode 5, the addiction that nearly killed him, and the moment he told America truth about what war really does to a man. By 1955, Audie Murphy was Hollywood star. To Hell and Back made him famous. Studios wanted him for everything. Westerns, war films, action movies. He made 6 films in 1956 alone. The money was substantial, tens of thousands per film. He bought ranch outside Los Angeles, bought cars, bought horses, supported his siblings back in Texas, sent money to veteran organizations, lived the life America promised its heroes. But success did not stop nightmares. Did not make gun under pillow unnecessary, did not heal what war had broken. If anything, fame made everything worse. More pressure, more expectations, more pretending to be okay when he was not, more playing the hero role in public while falling apart in private. Alcohol helped somewhat. Whiskey before bed, sometimes during day. But alcohol made him groggy, made him miss work, made him unreliable. Studios did not like drunk actors, so Audie needed something else. Doctors prescribed sleeping pills. This was 1950s. Doctors prescribed barbiturates freely, Seconal, Nembutal, Twenal, powerful sedatives that knocked people unconscious. Doctors said take one before bed, sleep through night, wake up refreshed. Simple solution to simple problem. But Audie's problem was not simple. 1 pill did nothing. 2 pills barely worked. 3 pills got him maybe 4 hours sleep before nightmares woke him. So he took 4, then 5, then 6. The pills worked differently than alcohol. Alcohol dulled everything, made him slow, made him stupid. Pills just shut his brain off. Forced sleep, whether his mind wanted it or not. Chemical unconsciousness, not real rest, not healing sleep. Just blank darkness until pills wore off and nightmares returned. But blank darkness was better than lying awake seeing faces, seeing Brandon, seeing burning tank, seeing 240 men he killed. So Audie took pills every night, without exception. Doctors warned him about tolerance. Body adapts to medication, needs more for same effect. Recommended taking breaks, trying other approaches, therapy maybe. Audie ignored warnings. He did not have time for therapy, did not have patience for talking about feelings. He needed sleep. Pills provided sleep. That was all that mattered, so he took more pills, got prescriptions from multiple doctors, stockpiled bottles, made sure he never ran out. Because running out meant no sleep. No sleep meant nightmares all night. Nightmares all night meant complete breakdown. By 1958, Audie Murphy was taking 20 sleeping pills per night, and his wife was terrified. Pamela Archer married Audie in 1951. Beautiful actress, young, optimistic. She knew Audie had nightmares, knew he was war hero with trauma, but she thought love would heal him. Thought marriage and children and stable home would fix what war had broken. She was wrong. Nothing could fix it. Living with Audie meant living with war. Every single night, he woke up screaming. Sometimes multiple times. Sometimes he woke up swinging, fighting invisible enemies. One night he nearly strangled her before fully waking, thought she was German soldier. Took him full minute to realize where he was, who she was. That war was over. Pamela learned to wake him from distance. Turn on lights from across room, speak softly. Give him time to orient. Never touch him while sleeping. Never surprise him. These were survival rules for being married to Audie Murphy. The pills worried her. Bottles everywhere. Bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, car. He took pills constantly. Not just at night anymore, during day too. Low doses to manage anxiety, higher doses to sleep. She watched him swallow handful after handful, watched him stumble, watched him slur words, watched him become dependent on chemicals just to function. She begged him to stop, to get help, to see therapist. Audie refused. He was fine, under control, could stop any time, but he never stopped, only took more. Hollywood work kept coming. Audie made 30 films between 1955 and 1965, steady work, steady income, but being functional actor while addicted to sleeping pills was difficult. Some mornings he could barely wake up. Pills still in system, groggy, confused, late to set. Directors complained, studios threatened. Audie would apologize, promise to do better, then take more pills that night. Cycle continued. Work, pills, nightmares, work, pills, nightmares. Over and over, year after year, his children grew up watching father struggle, watching him wake up screaming, watching him take pills, watching him stare at nothing for hours. They learned not to make loud noises around him, learned not to run up behind him, learned not to ask too many questions about war, learned to be careful around damaged father who loved them but was trapped in past he could not escape. This was their normal. This was what having war hero father meant. Friends noticed changes. Audie became withdrawn, stopped socializing, stopped going to Hollywood parties, stopped pretending to be okay. He spent time alone on ranch, riding horses, working with hands. Physical labor helped, kept mind occupied, kept memories at bay. But night always came, and night meant pills. Night meant gun under pillow. Night meant nightmares. Every single night for 15 years, no breaks, no relief, no escape. Then 1963. Audie Murphy decided to tell truth, and it nearly destroyed his career. Most celebrities hid problems, hid addictions, hid mental illness. Public wanted heroes, wanted perfect, successful people, did not want messy reality, did not want to hear about trauma and pain and psychological damage. So celebrities pretended, smiled for cameras, gave happy interviews, kept darkness private. That was Hollywood rule. That was America in 1960s. But Audie Murphy broke the rule. He gave interview to magazine, told them everything, told them about nightmares, about sleeping pills, about addiction, about how war destroyed him, about how he could not function without medication, about how he kept loaded gun under pillow for 18 years, about how success and money and family did nothing to heal psychological wounds. He told truth, complete, unfiltered truth, about what combat did to soldiers, about what came after, about cost of being hero nobody talked about. The article published. Response was immediate and brutal. Some veterans thanked him, said they had same problems, said nobody listened when they tried to get help, said Audie speaking out made them feel less alone. But Hollywood was furious. Studios said he made movies look bad, said he made war movies look irresponsible, said audiences did not want to hear about broken heroes. They wanted John Wayne, wanted strong, silent heroes who killed bad guys and rode into sunset, not damaged men who took pills and had nightmares and needed guns to feel safe. Offers dried up. Studios stopped calling. Roles disappeared. Audie Murphy was suddenly unemployable, not because he was a bad actor, not because he was difficult to work with, but because he told truth, because he admitted he was broken. Hollywood did not forgive that. America did not forgive that. Heroes were supposed to be strong, supposed to overcome, supposed to be fine. Audie Murphy admitted he was not fine, would never be fine, and that made people uncomfortable. Veterans Affairs reached out, asked Audie to speak publicly about PTSD. Term did not exist yet in 1963, would not be officially recognized until 1980. But VA knew soldiers were struggling, knew they needed help, knew public needed to understand. Audie agreed, started speaking at veteran events, started talking about his experiences, started advocating for better mental health care for soldiers, started breaking silence that killed so many veterans who suffered in silence. But speaking about trauma was exhausting. Every speech meant reliving war, meant talking about Brandon, about burning tank, about killing, about nightmares, meant opening wounds that never healed, meant being vulnerable in public. Audie did it anyway, did it because other veterans needed someone to speak for them, needed someone to say surviving war was not weakness, needing help was not failure. Being broken by combat did not make you less of man or less of hero. Then, 1968. Audie Murphy did something nobody expected. He quit pills cold turkey and nearly died. Audie had been taking sleeping pills for 13 years. Body was completely dependent. Quitting was not just difficult, was dangerous. Barbiturate withdrawal can kill, can cause seizures, can cause hallucinations, can cause heart failure. Doctors said taper slowly, reduce dosage gradually over months, give body time to adjust. But Audie was stubborn. Was Texas farm boy who survived poverty and war and hell. He decided to quit, so he quit. Locked himself in bedroom. Told Pamela to not let him leave no matter what he said or did, and stop taking pills. First day was manageable. Uncomfortable but manageable. Anxiety, sweating, shaking hands, but functional. Second day was worse. Much worse. Extreme anxiety, racing heart, nausea, vomiting, felt like skin was crawling, felt like electricity running through body. Could not sit still, could not focus, could not think straight. Third day he started hallucinating, seeing things that were not there, hearing voices, German voices, soldiers coming for him. He grabbed gun from under pillow, pointed it at walls, at shadows, at nothing. Pamela called doctor. Doctor said bring him to hospital immediately. This was dangerous, could kill him. Audie refused hospital, refused to leave room. He was going to beat this, was going to prove he was stronger than pills, was going to take control back. So he stayed in locked room, suffering, shaking, vomiting, hallucinating, barely sleeping. When he did sleep, nightmares were worse than ever before, more vivid, more real, more terrifying. He woke up screaming every hour, sometimes every 30 minutes. Body was punishing him for taking pills away. Brain chemistry was chaos. Neurotransmitters scrambling to rebalance without medication. It was torture. Week 1 was hell. Week 2 was worse. His body ached everywhere. Muscles cramped. Joints hurt. Headaches so severe he could barely open eyes. Vomiting continued. Lost 15 pounds. Could not eat. Could not drink without feeling sick. Pamela brought food. Audie could not keep it down. She brought water. He threw it up. She begged him to go to hospital to get medical help, to taper properly. Audie refused. He was going to do this, was going to prove something to himself, to pills, to war. He was not going to be controlled by medication anymore. Week 3, body started adjusting. Vomiting stopped. Shaking reduced. Hallucinations faded. But sleep was still impossible. Without pills, there was nothing between Audie and nightmares, nothing to force unconsciousness. He would lie in bed for hours, eyes open, watching ceiling, afraid to close eyes, afraid of what he would see. Brandon, burning tank, dead Germans, all of it waiting behind his eyelids, ready to attack moment he let guard down. Month 1, he started sleeping. 2 hours per night, then 3, never more than 4, always with gun under pillow, always waking in panic, but sleeping without pills, proving it was possible, proving he could do it. His body slowly healed, weight came back, strength returned, clarity improved, but nightmares never stopped. If anything, they were worse without pills, more vivid, more detailed, more real. But he was not taking pills. That was victory. Small victory maybe, but victory. Getting off pills did not fix him, did not stop nightmares, did not make gun under pillow unnecessary, but it made him stronger. After quitting pills, Audie became even more vocal about veteran mental health. He testified before Congress, told politicians about PTSD before it had name, told them about sleeping pills and addiction and suicide rates among veterans, told them military had a responsibility to help soldiers after combat, could not just send them home broken and expect them to figure it out alone. Congress listened. Some agreed, some ignored, but Audie kept speaking, kept pushing, kept fighting for veterans who could not fight for themselves. He wrote articles, gave speeches, did interviews, all about mental health, about cost of combat, about how society failed its veterans, about how America loved heroes but abandoned broken soldiers. He became voice for thousands of veterans suffering in silence, suffering with nightmares and flashbacks and hypervigilance and all symptoms that would eventually be recognized as post-traumatic stress disorder. But in 1960s, it was just called weakness, just called failure to adjust, just called... Hollywood still did not want him. Studios still avoided him. He made few films in late 1960s. Money became tight, not broke, but not wealthy like before. Ranch needed money. Family needed money. But Audie refused to stop speaking about veteran issues, refused to shut up and be good, quiet hero. This was more important than career, more important than money, more important than Hollywood. Veterans needed voice. Audie was going to be that voice even if it cost him everything. He helped establish veteran support groups, places where soldiers could talk, could share experiences, could support each other without judgment, places where nightmares were normal, where hypervigilance was understood, where loaded guns under pillows made sense to people who had seen combat. These groups saved lives, gave veterans community, gave them hope, gave them understanding that civilian world could not provide. Audie attended meetings, listened, shared, helped. This was his mission now. This was why he survived when so many others died. The nightmares continued every night. The gun under pillow stayed every night. The hypervigilance never faded. Every sudden noise made him jump. Every crowd made him nervous. Every loud sound sent him back to combat. War ended 25 years ago. But for Audie Murphy, war never ended. Never would end. This was his life now. This was his normal. Living with ghosts. Living with memories that would not fade. Living with trauma that had no cure. 1970. Audie Murphy was 45 years old and finally starting to understand that some wounds never heal. After 25 years, Audie stopped trying to fix himself, stopped believing nightmares would eventually go away, stopped hoping he would wake up one day and war would be gone from his mind. It was not going away, would never go away. This was who he was now, survivor living with permanent damage, warrior who could never put down weapons even when war was over. He accepted it, stopped fighting against it, started living with it instead. Acceptance did not mean giving up, meant understanding limitations, meant knowing he would never sleep through night, would always need gun under pillow, would always jump at loud noises, would always scan rooms for exits and threats, would always be hypervigilant. These were not things to fix, were things to manage, were part of him now. Permanent as scars, invisible as memories, real as nightmares, he found peace in ranch work, physical labor, caring for horses, fixing fences, working land, simple tasks that kept hands busy and mind occupied. Being outdoors helped. Wide open spaces, no crowds, no sudden noises, no triggers, just land and sky and animals that did not care about medals or fame or past. Ranch was sanctuary, place where he could be himself, broken, damaged, haunted, but alive. Relationship with Pamela improved. She understood now. Understood he would never be normal husband, would never be fully present, would always be partly in past, partly in France on burning tank, partly in Sicily watching Brandon die. She stopped trying to fix him, stopped expecting him to heal, started accepting him as he was, damaged hero doing best he could. That acceptance helped more than any medication ever did. Being loved despite brokenness, being accepted with all flaws. That was healing even if wounds never closed. His children were grown now. They understood more, understood father was different because war made him different, understood nightmares and hypervigilance and loaded gun were not about them, were about things that happened before they were born. Things Father could not change, could not escape, could not forget. They loved him anyway, respected him anyway, honored his struggle, even when they could not fully understand it. Audie continued speaking about veteran mental health, continued advocating, continued fighting for recognition of PTSD even though term did not exist yet. Continued telling truth about cost of combat, about sacrifice that went beyond dying, about how some soldiers survived war but died slowly afterward from wounds nobody could see. This work gave him purpose, gave him meaning beyond movies and money and fame. This was legacy worth building, helping other broken warriors survive their own private wars. The pills stayed gone. 5 years without sleeping pills, sleeping only 3 or 4 hours per night, but sleeping without chemicals, without dependency. This was victory. Small victory in larger war he could not win, but victory nonetheless. He proved he was stronger than addiction, proved he could endure, proved he could survive even worse withdrawal, even worse nightmares, even worse memories. But survival was exhausting. 25 years of fighting invisible enemy, 25 years of nightmares, 25 years of hypervigilance, 25 years of loaded gun under pillow. It wore him down, made him tired in ways sleep could not fix, made him wonder how much longer he could keep fighting, how much longer he could keep surviving, how much longer before memories finally won. He was 45 years old, had lived longer after war than he fought in war, but war years defined him. 3 years of combat outweighed 25 years of peace. Those 3 years made him who he was, shaped him, broke him, created him. Everything after was just aftermath, just dealing with damage, just surviving consequences of decisions made when he was 17 and desperate and lying his way into army because he was too poor and too hungry to imagine any other future. The war gave him purpose, gave him skills, gave him medals, gave him fame, but took everything in return, took innocence, took peace, took ability to sleep through night, took normal life, took everything except survival. And sometimes survival did not feel like victory, felt like curse, like being forced to keep living when dying would be easier. But Audie kept living, kept surviving, because that was what he did, what he always did, survive when survival seemed impossible. Next episode, May 28th, 1971, private plane, bad weather, Virginia mountains, the flight that would end Audie Murphy's war forever, and the funeral that would prove his legacy was larger than any man. The moment America finally understood what it lost, and why his grave at Arlington would become second most visited after Kennedy, because heroes die, but legends live forever